Hello. This video is going to be much longer because it's, should we say, quite a lot of content, but I'm going to try and get through it as best I can. See, we're going to be talking about King Cnut in the North Sea Empire, but this bit of the lesson will be including this guy in the very centre of my page, a young boy by the name of Aethelred. You can see Aethelred had, should we say, a tumultuous beginning of his reign. His older brother became king, and then his older brother was killed, and so Aethelred becomes king at the age of about 12. I don't know about you, but a year 7 being in charge of anything doesn't sound like a good idea to me, but Aethelred here becomes king. Now, Aethelred's got a big issue. So the thing is, Vikings were raiding across the country at this time, and Aethelred didn't have the greatest of advisors. He's 12 years old, he has no idea how the world works, and there's loads of these people telling him what to do, and really those people are just trying to get things for themselves. They're corrupt leaders, or they're trying to earn money off of the inability to rule of this 12-year-old. Now, the thing is, these Vikings keep invading, and a 12-year-old trying to fight off Vikings is probably not going to end the best method. So instead of fighting them, instead of going to war with the Vikings or causing any issue, Aethelred pays them. He pays them a sum of silver, and well, it's not gold, it's called the Dane Geld, G-E-L-D, but he pays them a load of money so that they go away. Now, I don't know about you, but if you were a Viking and you went somewhere and they said, here's £100 to go away, they went away, and then, let's say, a month later, they came back and said, hiya, we're back. And what did Aethelred do? He paid them again. And so these Vikings got this reputation of basically not doing anything, but coming in to basically just get a pay bank from Aethelred. Now, Aethelred earned the name Aethelred the Unready at this point. He wasn't ready for these Viking invasions, and so Aethelred needed a method to try and get rid of these Vikings without any of this. It took years of his life he spent just paying thousands and thousands of pounds. In fact, it apparently cost £1.8 million in today's money he'd spent just getting rid of the Vikings. So he came up with a different idea. He found out that the Vikings, while they were, should we say, going away, they'd go and hide out in Normandy, this little area at the north of France. So Aethelred got in contact with the leader of Normandy, the Duke, and married his daughter, or his sister, I think, married his sister, pardon, a girl called Emma of Normandy. The thing is, this was so that the Vikings couldn't live in Normandy anymore. Aethelred got rid of their space where they hung out while they waited to get paid by him again. And this kind of worked, but he was like, I don't want the Vikings to come back here anymore. And I believe in 1002, what a year, Aethelred decided to kill off the Vikings in the Danelaw. He decided to go in and just massacre hundreds and thousands of Viking people who'd done nothing wrong, purely to scare off the Vikings that kept trying to invade his side of the country. Now, in doing this, Aethelred killed somebody. He killed the sister of a pirate lord. As in, he killed a prominent Viking and feared pirate lord, a guy called Forkbeard. Now, when this Forkbeard guy, a Viking, hears that his sister's been murdered by this idiot Aethelred, who's been paying us loads of money, I'm going to get annoyed. Aethelred flees Britain in fear, and Forkbeard invades. Forkbeard wins. A Viking king takes over Britain called Forkbeard. Now the thing is, Forkbeard does not last very long. Within the first year of him being in charge of Britain, Forkbeard dies, and his son takes over. You'll remember the name of his son if you haven't heard of it before. His name is King Cnut, spelt in a very interesting way, but his name is King Cnut. And King Cnut is actually quite a good leader. The thing is, King Cnut was essentially much better than any ones we've seen before. He had connections in Scandinavia, Denmark and Norway, and he had connections in Britain with all those people living in the Danelaw and all those supporters of Forkbeard. So what he did is he established Britain, or England at this point, as a Danish colony, as in it'd be ran by Vikings from afar. And this meant that basically England was now linked up with these other countries in what is now called the North Sea Empire. Denmark, Norway, and England, all of them together were one, should we say, empire, one, I'm going to use the phrase super country. They all traded together, they all worked together, and they were all essentially on the same side. Now, even though this involved brutal takeovers, the thing is, England was at peace during this time. We didn't have two sides of Britain that hated each other. We had one unified England that was joined up with other countries around Europe, essentially. And the thing is, Cnut was well liked. He was a church Christian, and the church liked him, and Christians liked him, so the Anglo-Saxons liked him. The Vikings clearly loved him, and it meant that, should we say, Britain suddenly was stable. There was a consistent amount of money coming into Britain. There was new languages, new people. People could move about this empire freely. Britain is now, should we say, what's called a global country. It's now spreading and influencing other countries around it. And even, Cnut, to make it people like him even more, married Emma of Normandy, Aethelred's ex-wife. And, well, Cnut was able to be King of England for 20 years. You don't get to do that if people don't like you. And, well, a variety of things happen. There's some people, there's a son called Cnut, and a few other people that you might need to know the names of. But generally, Cnut manages to make Britain quite a powerful country in Europe, and you need to know the main key parts about it. I've skimmed over loads of information there. I've tried to tell you a lot here, but I've gone over my 5-minute timer, so I need to tell you the questions. So first and foremost, you need to answer these before you move on. Why was Aethelred called the Unready? What did Aethelred do to get the Vikings to leave Britain alone? How did Aethelred deal with the Vikings when he'd had enough of them? Who was Forkbeard, and why was he significant? How did Cnut become King of England? What did Cnut change about England? And how did Cnut use Emma of Normandy to his advantage? I want you to read the textbook to find the answer to these questions, because I promise you I've skipped information in this little summary, particularly with question 5. How did Cnut become King of England? Please read through the information yourself or recall it yourself, but this is key. Good luck.